Hi, Olivia. I've just grabbed you catching a quick 5-minute respite during your week at Hybrid BootCamp here. Just introduce yourself. Tell me a little bit about your background, your military career, and what you do now.
Yeah, sure. So my name's Olivia Cox. My career started off in the army. I joined 4th Reg Royal Artillery, went to Sandhurst, then went out with them to Germany, where I trained a troop, because it's a troop in the artillery, not a regiment. Oh no, that's wrong, not a platoon. And then I went into media. I wrote for Marie Claire magazine doing beauty, fashion and health and fitness. And then I left there to go digital with my own blog and really working sort of consultancy with brands. So I do a lot of presenting now for various channels like Channel 5 News, Sky News, Most TV, Fashion TV, whole host.
Yeah. Presenting, and what's your relation with journalists as well? Is that sort of related in there?
Yeah, so I mean, the media thing started as a journalist writing for various magazines, and I guess that's sort of how I got into the presenting.
Yeah.
My first presenting job was hosting Entertainment Wise's fashion news bulletin.
Yeah.
So that was all kind of, I suppose, in a roundabout way, kind of research and writing my own script. So it was kind of still journalism. I much prefer talking. I'm better in front of the camera than writing behind it.
Yeah, well, you're clearly a fit young lady. We've had a look at your performance throughout the week as well, which is commendable, so very well done. Your
Thanks
sort
so
of
much.
military background has certainly shone through. But most importantly, I know one of your colleagues sort of invited or mentioned for you to come here.
Yeah.
So what was the sort of reason behind you coming here, or what was your goal to get out of this week here at Hybrid BootCamp?
I think for me at Hybrid BootCamp it was really important to progress with my fitness, get back into training and almost sort of prove to myself that I can do it. I'd had a bit of a lull. I used to be really into fitness. When I came out of the army, I ran the marathon, I was doing 10Ks, Tough Mudder, and then since slipping more into a sort of London party lifestyle, I've lost a lot of fitness and lost a lot of my drive. So really for me it was getting back into fitness and remembering that I can do the things I thought I could,
Yeah.
with a little bit of gentle encouragement from the trainers.
So you've had Royal Marines and paratroopers and Special Forces guys at you all this
It's been
week.
great.
Brilliant stuff. Now, obviously, London's a complete contrast to where you are now. We're very sort of rural and quiet here. How have you found the venue?
Oh, the venue's beaut.
Well, you look like you're quite comfortable there anyway.
What's really nice about boot camp is that it is really hard. Obviously, it works you hard during the day. That's why you're here. If you walked away not aching, you'd kind of feel a bit cheated. But you're looked after really well. There's a great chef, Jake, in the kitchen, has cooked up some marvellous treats for us. And it's really all about giving us the lifestyle encouragement so that when we go away we can carry on like this. It's not the military, it's not, get up and run around and get muddy endlessly. You can do everything because the end's in sight. You can get wet and cold because you're going to go in for lunch. That's
right, into a nice surrounding with great dynamics to keep the group sort of going.
Exactly. I mean, it's really beautiful here and there's so much area. There's so much ground here. It makes a real difference because I think if you switch up the location where you're training, psychologically somehow you feel fresh, and it's little things like that that make hybrid different to other boot camps because you can kind of get the most out of yourself without realising you could.
Yeah, we understand, the importance of diversity, keeping people interested, because it's a tough week. We get fantastic results, and they're, very public, and they're on the Facebook page, and we've got, some awesome testimonials, within a year and a half of being in business. So the diversity in the ground certainly lend us towards being able to make that happen.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned the food as well with the chef we've got at the moment, Jake. Now, for me, again, being the owner, the most important thing, or the only thing the guys look forward to during the week is the food. So when you've come in from a tough session, or the weather hasn't been particularly great, the food is absolutely crucial. So with regards to the food, if you wouldn't mind just telling me a little bit more how you've found the food and any sort of feedback you've heard the guys within the group mentioning as well.
I mean, food is pretty much what we talk about 24/7 here. Obviously, we're on a slightly careful diet. The whole point of coming here for a lot of people is weight loss. So all the meals are very carefully chosen for their fat, protein, carbohydrate content. And as we learn more about that during the week, sort of the moans about portion sizes or the lack of chocolate, they've sort of subsided a bit because I think people have begun to understand why we're doing that.
Yeah.
But in terms of the taste, I mean, frankly, when you come in having done something like 8 hours of intense activity and you're presented with some food, it tastes better than anything you've ever had in your life.
Brilliant stuff. And you mentioned as well about the whole weight loss. We get various types of people with different sort of goals and requirements when they come here. Have you noticed how we've sort of tailored the nutritional sort of sizes, portion sizes, but as well as the nutrients that are on the different plates? So for someone like yourself who's got low body fat, we've increased your protein intake and put you on different portion sizes.
Yeah.
So within the group itself is quite varied.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the first day I struggled because before you get to know really what you need and before everyone's understanding what each other needs, you're all very much on a level playing field. And as the week's gone on, I think everybody begins to settle in and realise what they need, and the trainers are incredibly good at spotting people who need something extra, and it's almost like they can see it in your performance if you need that extra boost. So I've been on meal portions for pretty much the whole time, and I've had protein shakes, and I think if you're here to lose weight or if you're here to gain fitness, it's two very different things. So I don't need specifically to be on a low fat diet, and it's really great that the chef and the team were able to
recognise it and tweak it accordingly.
Yes.
Then we relay to the rest of the group no food envy, which is important.
Oh, I did feel quite bad in the beginning. But you know what? I think everyone is so focused on themselves, and it's taught to us at the beginning that you're not competing against everybody else, you're competing against yourself.
Exactly.
So I think actually it's been taken in very good humour.
Wise words. And one of the big things, sort of our niche within the market, is our sort of nutritional education and lifestyle consultancy, and making people be aware and how they can actually become master of their own destiny, and the importance of being aware of what they eat and how, you know, abs are made in the kitchen, all that type of stuff. We spend quite a bit of time on educational lessons here. You've had 2 so far and 1 more to go tomorrow with the whole food labelling, so you can identify foods on the go, if you like, to help suit your lifestyle. How have you found the nutritional information so far?
Oh, the nutrition lectures that we've held, discussions that we've had, have blown my mind. There's so much that I didn't realise, and sort of bits that I kind of knew or I'd heard rumours about, but I didn't really know the science behind it. So you'll be told a fact about food, and unless you understand why, then it's very difficult sometimes to follow it, because there are still those demons in your head that go, oh no, you can do that, this is fine, you've heard that, or whatever. And it's been so interesting to learn about the kind of marketing side of food, and remembering that everybody is out there essentially for themselves, and a lot of these companies are businesses that are trying to make us believe in their product. And I think it's going to make us all a lot more savvy about our food choices. Certainly I won't be drinking skimmed milk anymore. I'll be having full fat, and that's something that really, I've done that all my life, so
yeah,
game changer.
Fantastic. So that's the food, the nutritional side of things. You mentioned the trainers briefly earlier.
Yeah.
How have you found their sessions, their encouragement, and, you know, anything else you'd like to state about the 2 lads that have been training
great.
you? You say that now because you're in the hot tub.
No, the sessions have been brutally hard. I think what's really good about the trainers is that they're able to tailor the sessions for us. So even though we're all working together, there are huge variations of fitness and ability amongst the group and experience amongst the group. And the trainers that we've had have been able to tweak everything that we've done so that we're all working at maximum capacity, and we're all being pushed without having huge disparity between the group. I mean, when I arrived and I discovered that most people were here for weight loss rather than fitness, I arrogantly thought, oh, this will be a doddle. It hasn't at all. I've been pushed to limits that I really didn't think I could push through. And their encouragement is great. I mean, it's so different to the army. You're really getting positive encouragement here. It's not all negative. You're made to feel that you can do something, and almost you want to prove to the trainers and almost give them the good feedback of seeing that their work is achieving something.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, we don't go down the whole regimented military lines, you know. We're not training military recruits to become something, you know, that's going to work for the military. So, what'd you do there? Bubble?
No, I nearly fell over. I don't want to get my hair wet, you see.
Brilliant, right, okay. So yeah, just taking a step back, we don't use the whole the military regimented style of, you know, the strictness. Yes, we push you and encourage you, but it can be counterproductive. So ideally, the whole team here in the whole hybrid ethos, if you like, is to help people, educate them, and get the best out of them, and teach them that they can, if they apply themselves, they can get the best out of themselves without even knowing. So that's really good feedback to hear about the trainings, because that's what we're all about. So overall, I mean, like I say, we've got one more day for you tomorrow, and then we'll obviously have a look at your after pictures. We've got the before and afters, just to see how you've toned up and what your results you've achieved physically. So I know you mentioned you've done other boot camps before, is that right?
I've never done a residential boot camp. I've done one day at a boot camp.
Okay, yeah, so this is the first time you've experienced a whole week in an environment like this.
It's been intense.
Yeah? Overall, would you recommend it to friends, family, people out there?
Yeah, I think if you'd asked me that after day 2, when I was basically
the answer would have been no.
Crying into my food, I'd have been like, no, I never want to come here again. But I've been astounded by the results. I'd kind of plateaued, certainly in my body shape, and no matter how much I was just going out and pounding the streets and cutting back on my food, I wasn't getting anywhere. And I can even see, I can feel, like just looking in the mirror, I can see that I've toned up a huge amount more in a week than I have on my own in half a year. So yeah, I'd definitely come back. I'd recommend it for anyone who wants to kickstart something, who wants to get back into it maybe after pregnancy or a career change or some sort of big life decision, or maybe just before holiday.
Brilliant. And you've experienced our UK venue now. We've got a venue over in Marbella, which we're opening up this year. So when it's cold, wet and miserable here, we've got the sunshine over there. So there'll be another nice choice. And from a trainer's perspective, we've got the sea one side and mountains the other side in Marbella. So there's plenty of toys for us to play with. Well, thank you very much for doing the video for us.
Pleasure.
It's absolutely fantastic. I know you're heading off back down to London for an event very shortly. You're getting picked up and you look absolutely glamorous.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you for coming, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your time here at Hybrid BootCamp.
Thanks so much.